Now, just a moment. Are you saying that all the Fulani herdsmen that have caused this mayhem have come from across the border?
Most of them, I believe, because I come from a place where we have the Fulani that have cattle, and they don't cause this mayhem. Why? Because animals usually stray, even in England. They stray from a farm, either onto the main road or onto another person's farm. And the courts are there to adjudicate. We have our court system where if your cattle stray into a farmer's farmland, feed on it, the next day you appear in court.
So as a speaker, as a speaker of the Adamawa State House of Assembly, former speaker, beg your pardon, what sort of problem were you looking to cure then, if all was okay between the Fulani, the traditional Fulani of Adamawa, and the farmers of Adamawa?
Yes, what we were doing, I told you, we have mapped and marked grazing reserves. And what we were trying to do was to build earth dams inside, to build hospitals, to build schools, to build veterinary clinics, to build markets inside of them. And then to discourage transhumance. So that once your cattle are not in an enclosure marked, by the time you come in, we arrest you. Because you're a trespasser. By the time you keep all the Nigerian cattle in an enclosure, anybody who crosses from Burkina Faso, you arrest him. Where is he going to? Because there is no place for him to go to. Our own cattle are in an enclosure. That is the essence of my bill.
Can we stop the nomadic lifestyle of these people?
You can't stop the nomadic. You can stop it. I am a victim of nomadism. I have lost my skin color because of nomadism. My grandfather came from Zamfara State, and he settled in Adamawa. My grandmother was backing my father at her back. She went to sell cattle in the market. By the time she came back, they had moved on. Nomadism is a curse. We should stop it, because it is one of the causes of this mayhem that we are seeing. It is a way of life. The point I was trying to make, while the sedentary Fulani look at the cattle as an exotic animal, he goes to see them, the nomadic Fulani looks at them as a way of life. But this way of life cannot be sustained in the 21st century. We know the problems and we know the solutions. The problem with Nigeria is that we do not have the political will.
It was saying that there are two solutions that look alike. Grazing reserves and ranches look alike very strongly. I do recall that some members of the House of Representatives went to visit the governor of Benue State shortly after the Agatu crisis, and I think they raised the question of the grazing reserves bill, and he said he preferred ranching. So also did the governor of Kaduna State, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, who said that he also thinks that ranching will be the solution to this problem. We have to ask, have you consulted widely before you came up with this bill?
Of course I have.
With who?
With my own people.
Affected?
With my own people, because my own people are also affected. There was a time when I was speaker. My ward of Faran and Malabu, they were attacked. And we lost close to 20 people. And when the corpses were brought, because we sent soldiers, and even soldiers were killed, but these people are foreigners. When they brought the corpses to the hospital in Yola, where we are going to perform the prayer on the corpses, some people at the back were saying that it is good, because these are Muslims against Muslims now. So the crisis are now taking another dimension, the religious crisis, when it is absolutely not. It is good that this thing is Muslims against Muslims. It is absolutely not.
Honorable, let's take a look at your bill. Part 4 of that bill, procedure for acquisition of land for grazing reserve. Section 18 of that bill says, the Commission is hereby empowered to acquire land in any parts of the Federation for establishing grazing reserves. 20 says, 20 sub 1, the Commission shall undertake a physical and geographical analysis of land use in each state in order to ascertain the best and most appropriate place to establish a national grazing reserve within the state. And so when they look at this bill, you say it's well intentioned, but for those who see this bill, they think this doesn't sit well with them, because if you empower this commission to come look at the best land, acquire that land, pay compensation.
Best land for what?
It's the best land for grazing. It's the same thing we're talking about, grazing bill.
Look, if you say just the best land and keep quiet, the man who
I established it already that it's a grazing bill. I established it's your bill.
The man who grow rice will think that his best land is a place for growing rice. I mean, we cannot go and establish it.
No, but besides, the best is also relative, because if you talk about the best land, what is best land
for?
What is best land for grazing? For the other person who owns the land, he may think, no, I don't consider my land best land for grazing. That's a relative terminology.
You see, sir, if this commission is established, it's going to be headquartered in Abuja. And each state is going to bring in a person from the land use and allocation committee of that state to be a commissioner. I'm coming.
Before it gets to that stage, people are already asking themselves, perhaps down south, they ask, why do I need a grazing bill? Do I rear cattle? And they say, well, I don't need the grazing bill.
But you need
That's
the
what
meat.
someone asking.
You need the meat, don't you? You need the skin to eat pomo, don't you?
Because they need the skin, it means that they should take over.
It's not an issue of taking over. This grazing belongs to government. And the person in the Grazing Reserve Commission from your own state is a commissioner in the Grazing Reserve Commission in Abuja. Look, the problem is that I am not saying that we should do grazing reserve at one fell swoop. If you look at my bill, it's going to be gradual. There are some areas that need it now, and there are some states that do not need it now. But I can assure you, if we do that, now, let me give you an example. There is a big cattle market in my state called Ngurore Market. You can't believe that 80% of those that go there to buy cattle are Igbos. In the past, that was my father's business, buying cattle from Adamawa to bring to Calabar and Port Harcourt. Now, the Igbos go there themselves to buy the cattle and bring to the east. Now, what our people do now is they buy emaciated ones because they can't afford the fattened ones. It's only the Igbos that can afford the fattened ones to bring to the south. We buy the emaciated ones and bring them to the east. And we keep them over time to be fattened and sold. I have met some Fulani men who have been in Okwige for over 100 years. I have seen some in Shaki. They have been there for a similar number of years.
If they've been there for that number of years,
yes.
Why are the killings of people that have been so hospitable to you?
I am telling you that this killing is not done by the sedentary Fulani that Nigerians know. Okay. These are people who transmute from foreign countries to come here. And because their way of life is nomadism, which my bill is criminalizing, they come, do terrible things here, and they run away. What I want us to do is to keep our own cattle in an enclosure, so that any cattle that we see outside is a stray animal. And we have the right to arrest the cattle, and if we can find the owner, arrest him. If we can't find him, we impound the cattle.
All right, but just give us a moment. We need to take another look at the headlines. We'll come back and focus a little more on this, perhaps what people are talking about with respect to this bill as well.